Radhe Radhe everyone. Today we are going to watch a video about celebrating Sri Radha Rani's Descension by Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj and translated by Braj Banchari Didiji, Sri Kripalu Kunj Ashram, Canada. My humble pranams to my Gurudev's divine lotus feet. Due to his compassionate causelessly merciful nature, he has given the world the precious treasure of divine knowledge about Sri Radharani's divine descension and her beautiful form for all of us to meditate upon. Along with me, we all can bow down to my Divine Master's lotus feet. Celebrating Sri Radha Rani's Descension. Lots of people all over the world know how Sri Krishna and Sri Rama appeared on the planet Earth, but very few people know about the appearance of Sri Radha. This is a brief description of the happenings when Sri Radha appeared on this earth 5000 years ago in a village called Barsana in the state of Uttar Pradesh in India. Janma means Prakatya, appearance. Kishorji has appeared in Kirtimaya's house. Radha Tattva has descended on earth. Sri Radha is no different from Sri Krishna. The Vedas say Krishna appeared on earth in two forms, Radha and Krishna. Just like Sri Krishna descended in Mother Yashoda's house and Sri Ram in Mother Kaushalya's house, Sri Radha descended in Mother Kirti's house. Also, just like Mother Yashoda did not want to see the godliness or majestic form of Sri Krishna and just wanted to enjoy the loving intimacy of a mother-child relationship with him. Mother Kirti too wishes to shower motherly affection towards God. So Kishorji never revealed her majestic form to her mother. She appeared as an ordinary child and Kirtimaya had no idea that her beloved daughter was a divine descension. She firmly believed that her daughter Radha was born like a normal baby. When mother claimed that Radha was born to her, all others believed it too. The scriptures, however, tell us the truth. Ved said in Brahma Vaivarta Purana that Radha was not born from her mother's womb. Brahma Vaivarta Purana also quotes Sri Krishna saying, "You and I never go into the womb, we go into the mind." Let us try to understand the divine personality of Sri Radharani. Absolute Brahma Sri Krishna is referred to as Chat, eternal Chit, knowledge, Anand, bliss. Sat and Chitta encompassed within Anand. The essence of Anand is Hiladani Shakti, and the essence of Hiladani Shakti is love. Such is the supremacy of love that all scriptures and scholars proclaim. Even if you multiply Brahmanand, bliss of formless God, by billions, it will not even be equal to a single drop of love bliss. There are various levels of love bliss, each higher than the previous one. Prem Bhakti, Sneh Bhakti, Man Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, Anurag Bhakti, Bhavesh Bhakti, and Mahabhav Bhakti. Mahabhav Bhakti is also of two types, Rud and Adirud. Of these, Adirud is a higher state than Rud. Adirud. Adirud Mahabhav Bhakti is also of two types, Rud and Adirud. Of these, Adirud is a higher state than Rud. Adirud is also of two types, Modan and Mohan. There is one more state called Madan Mahaba, which is higher than all others states of divine bliss. No saints has ever obtained it. Even the intimate friends of Sri Radharani, the eight Mahasahis, eternal intimate associates, cannot attain it. This seat is reserved for Radharani alone. We can get a glimpse of the state of love bliss of Sri Radha by learning the fact that during their descension in Braj, Sri Radha fell in love with Sri Krishna. By simply hearing his name once, hearing his flute, she united with him. Seeing a picture of Sri Krishna, she went into a trance. Sri Radha, the personification of this highest form of bliss, has appeared in Kirtimaya's home. What can one say about the good fortune of Mother Kirti, who got to love, cuddle, scold, punish, rock, and fondle her? Furthermore, she got the rarest privilege of trying to please her by bribing her with toys and sweets, etc. When she got upset, fathers generally get a little lesser proximity with their daughter, brothers even lesser, and general public even lesser. But whatever little extent they get, it still is infinitely more than the bliss of formless God Brahmanand. Such Kishoriji has descended in the house of Kirti Maya. As is customary, Vedic hymns are chanted on all auspicious occasions. As is customary, Vedic hymns are chanted on all auspicious occasions. The important factor in reciting Vedic hymns is the pronunciation and the notes. It has to be perfect. When Kishorji appeared, none other than Brahmaji came down from his abode to recite the Vedas for glorifying Kishorji. Brahmaji considered it his extreme good fortune to personally welcome Kishorji today. Supreme Personality has descended in his Brahmanand creation to shower divine bliss. Since Brahmaji came, Vedas too followed him. Vedas were not being recited in mere words. Instead, Vedas themselves stood in her service. Brahmaji recited the Vedas with all four mouths. Vedas stood there and offered their services. They are not doing this to receive anything from her. They considered it their duty. They are drenched in divine ecstasy. They could not control themselves and came uninvited to welcome her. Naradji and other eternally liberated divine personalities also came and sang her glories. She is very merciful. She is the protectress of all surrendered souls. Along with singing praises, Naradji also proclaimed victory to Radharani. All others joined him in the same. Yaksh, Kinnar, Gandharvas, and Apsaras sang as well. Bhagavan Shankar himself came to perform a dance. Shankarji has a special dance called Tandav Nritya. This dance is performed in trance. Shankarji is an ardent devote, Ananya Bhakt of Kishoriji. So he is in a state of love bliss trance, started performing Tandav. Who will perform her Aarti? There are three personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. The Hiladani power is Brahmani, Rama and Uma. They are part of Sri Radharani. Hence, it is their duty to perform the Aarti of their originator. They personally came down and started performing Aarti of Sri Radharani with divine lamps. Some Siddh Paramahams also reached there. There are some Paramahams who have not merged into the Supreme Personality like Sanakadik Paramahams. They too came, they saw her and their trance of formless God, Brahmanand Samadhi, turned into a love Samadhi. When they finally regained consciousness, all they could say is Balihar, that is, we sacrifice ourselves on such a beautiful form of the Brahmanan that we used to experience. The ecstasy of that moment cannot be described in words. Everyone was drenched in divine love bliss that they had no cares for any material things. Mother Kirti and King Vrishabhanu were showering precious jewels on all who had come to visit them. Instead of being enticed by those jewels, all visitors were seen requesting Kirti Maya to let them catch a glimpse of the newborn baby. Sri Radharani's parents. Raja Ishwagu was a renowned saint. He had a son named Nriga, who was a benevolent and just king. He once donated a cow to a Brahmin, and somehow the cow made its way back to his palace and got mixed with the other cows. Unaware of this fact, he donated the same cow to another Brahmin. When the first Brahmin came looking for his cow, he saw the second Brahmin taking away the cow. The two Brahmins had a disagreement on who was the real owner of the cow. The two went to Raja Nriga for a resolution. Nriga tried hard to convince both Brahmins to let go of the ownership of the cow in lieu of hundreds of other cows, but both were insistent on having that one cow. Unable to resolve their conflict, one of the Brahmins cursed him to become a chameleon. Once during the descension of Lord Krishna, his son Pradyum, etc. were playing and their ball fell into the well. While trying to get the ball back, they noticed a huge chameleon in the well. They reported what they saw to Krishna. Krishna smiled knowingly and went with them to the well. He rescued the poor chameleon by extending his arm till the bottom of the well to take him out. As soon as the chameleon was brought out, he turned into a divine form and attained liberation at the hands of Lord Krishna. Nriga's son was Chuchandra, who was also a great saint and a just king. Arjmadi was the Pitru of Pitrulok. He had 3 Mansi daughters born out of thinking, namely Kalavati, Menaka, and Ratnamala. Kalavati got married to Raja Suchandra. Ratnamala got married to Raja Janak. Menaka got married to Himalaya. Menaka gave birth to Parvati. Ratnamala gave birth to Janaki. Kalavati and Suchandra remained celibate and performed severe penances for 12,000 Dev years, equivalent to 43 lakhs 20,000 Man years. Brahmaji appeared and granted them a boon: they would be born as Raja Vrishabhanu and Kirti in the Dwapar Yuga, and Sri Radha would descend in their household. In Dwapar Yuga, Suchandra was born as Vrishabhanu in Raja Shurbanu's family. Kalavati appeared in the Yajnakun of Balandan Muni as his daughter Kirti. Sri Radha descended as the daughter of Vrishabhanu and Kirti in Barsana. Unlike a normal material birth, where the soul enters the womb of her mother, Sri Radha did not enter into Mother Kirtimaya's womb as described in the previous lectures. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. My humble pranams to my Gurudev's divine lotus feet again and again for giving the world the precious divine knowledge about Sri Radharani's divine descension. Now onwards, you all can think about her divine descension, behind the divine descension, the precious Sri Radha. And let's chant Radha Radhe whenever we have time. Meditate on her divine form. Think about what my Gurudev said about the divine descension of Sri Radha and immerse yourself in the divine bliss. Think of her beautiful divine form again and again. Jai Jai Sri Radhe.